Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
I don't know if everyone's unmuted.
How old were you when
I have a question.
Pardon?
Okay.
How old were you when you got selected for development?
For pathways,
Yeah.
I was 15 when I was selected for pathways. So I played for Glasgow District under 15s, and I trialled for pathways when I initially joined Glasgow District and I didn't make it. And then I went to Inverclyde for a training camp and I was selected kind of through just someone saw me and thought, oh, I think she could be good enough to play for pathways. And then, so I was 15.
Okay.
Neve, did you have a question?
Yeah. How old were you when you started playing netball in general?
So I started playing netball when I was 13 at Hermitage Primary. Actually, with someone on this chat, funnily enough. And yeah, so I started playing at Hermitage, and then I joined G4 when it initially was set up
Back
as the first team. So yeah, I was 13 years old.
Anyone else?
What position do you play? Or what position did you play?
What position do I play? I play centre wing defence now. So when I was your age, I was playing goalkeeper, goal defence. Up until about, I would say, 17 years old. So my first cap for Scotland, I actually played in at goalkeeper, because for my age I was quite tall, but now I'm only 5'8". That's not tall enough to play in the circles. So I'm now playing centre wing defence. Yeah, so all you smallies will have to move out to centre, so get fit.
Stretch.
Yeah. I think it's really good though, because now that I've played most positions other than shooter. I always wanted to be a shooter, but I never played shooter. But I've got the experience, so having that kind of knowledge of how all players play and the different kind of skills that you need is really useful. So if you do come up in a trial, and so last year I was trialing for World Cup and I got thrown in at goal defence, and I was a bit like, oh, this was unexpected because I didn't put that down as one of my positions, but I knew how to play it. I knew how that goal attack was going to play because I played there before. So from that, take any opportunity you can. So if you play defence and Jen and your coach from another club, they chuck you in at centre, do it. Don't complain about it, do it. It'll be the best experience you'll get.
Definitely. I think that's something that J24 has been really good at doing. I'm squeaking. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else has a question?
How many times would you normally train a week?
Who's that? Is that Holly and Neve? Yes. How many times do I normally play? So out of lockdown, or how much am I training in lockdown?
Both.
Or both? Both. Okay. So, that is a big question. So before lockdown, I have to do 3 cardio sessions a week, 3 strength sessions a week, plus I do a court session on a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and some Thursdays. Then I have 5 technical sessions that I have to fit in. So they're like ball work and skill. So kind of what we've done tonight. So they're about 20 minutes long. So yeah, quite a lot. That's outside of lockdown. And then within lockdown, I'm doing 3 speed sessions. Everything's just increased in lockdown because I think we've got all this time free. So I've done 3 speed sessions, 5 technical sessions, and 3 strength sessions. But everything's very varied because the equipment we have and things is completely different to one another. So you obviously don't have access to a huge gym and things. But it helps. I enjoy it. So, it's good fun. Yeah. Some sessions are definitely harder than others, though.
Anyone else have a question?
Do you want to have a professional career in netball?
Who was that?
Lucy.
So last season I played for the Siren Super League team, but this year I've had to put my academics first because I'm studying a master's at Durham University. so I wasn't able to like commit to all the traveling and things. So I would love to play netball professionally. However, the amount that we get paid is just not enough for me to make a living off of at the moment. So I'm at the moment playing as much netball as I can at the level that I want to. And yeah, so my next aims are Commonwealth and World Cup. So yeah.
Anyone else?
Because these questions can be about anything, like literally what I eat, what I do, what do I do in my training, what do I enjoy, what do I not enjoy, who have I played for, how to get in Jen's good books.
How do you get in Jen's good books?
Pardon?
You do as she's told. You do as you're told.
Yeah.
What do you have like post match, like to eat wise?
Post match. So usually straight after my game, I have a protein shake. So I use just like an impact whey protein, which is like I have to get ones that are, because I get tested. So like if I have to get to make sure that I'm not taking any illegal substances. But for you guys, I would definitely recommend straight after your game just getting some protein in you. So if you like chicken, ham, or something that's going to just like give you that boost of energy as well. So yeah, chicken, ham, things like that. Some cheese is sometimes nice. But yeah, just remember that you're refueling as well. So like I think you guys, if you're playing a game of netball, you're going to be burning thousands of calories. So make sure that you're eating enough after that game to refuel of what you've burnt off.
Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Oh, I knew that was going to get asked. Yeah, I have a weird thing with my shoes that I have to tie each shoe like 5 times. It's really annoying. Yeah. And I tape my ankles, so I have to tape my left ankle before I tape my right ankle.
That's good.
I'm trying to think if I have any more. I don't think I do. I used to have a lot when I was a lot younger, that things I had to do. So I had, like when I was your guys' age, I had to wear like 2 baubles in my hair. It got to like the extent I had to like put my left shoe on before my right shoe and things. Like it was crazy, and I was like, no, this is too much. So I've definitely not got as many as I used to. But yeah, there's some people in the team that have loads of rituals. Like we have like spaces in our changing room where you have to sit, and then one person in our team, they have to be in the same exact position every single time. Yeah, so each changing room we're like, oh, left corner, that's definitely so and so's. So yeah.
Any other questions? Can be about anything.
Injuries, anything, literally ask. I've pretty much been through all the setbacks, whatever.
What's been your worst injury playing netball?
My worst. I've been quite lucky that I haven't had any major injuries. At my first like netball Europe for under 21s, I went over my right ankle on the first game, and it just swelled up really, really badly. But I was so determined that I was going to play. So they literally strapped my ankle up, and it was literally like this size, like it was massive, and my shoe barely fit on, and I played like the last 2 games as well. I was just so determined to get on the court, and that was probably one of my worst injuries. I dislocated a couple of my fingers, but I think most people have done that. Oh, I broke my thumb as well. Yeah, it's kind of a bit funny. I don't think you really want to see that, but yeah, I think with injuries as well, girls, like they are going to happen. So it's just like making sure that like you're in that right mindset to come back, and you're determined to get better and set those goals throughout the time. So if anybody is injured or has been, just remembering that like you've got those goals and to reach them so you can see the achievement and see that you're improving. Yeah.
Did you play any other sports, like when you were younger?
Yes, I did. I don't know who asked that, but
Lucy, that was. Yep.
okay. Yeah, I played. So I went to Lomond School. So if any of you go there, you'll know Mrs. Taylor, and she was a very keen hockey coach who just wanted me to play hockey all the time. So I played a lot of hockey when I was younger. I played tennis, and I did a bit of horse riding as well. So yeah, I definitely think that's something that's benefited me massively, is being able to have the opportunities to play lots of different sports as well, because it's allowed me to kind of like base my fitness from them as well. So it's not just always running, it's not just always lifting weights. I've kind of been able to have that enjoyment by playing different sports, and a lot of the skills within hockey and within netball, they kind of can overlap as well. So a lot of the running techniques that we do here, you can use them on a hockey pitch as well, and vice versa. So yeah, but netball's obviously my favorite.
I do hockey too, in the school, and another club. I do 2 netballs, 2 hockeys. I do a lot of like footwork sports. And I do a lot of within the school with Miss Taylor. But I thought you'd like to know she's leaving this year.
Yeah, she is. I know. I met her the other day, actually. Yeah. That's nice. That's good though. It's good to do different sports as well.
Yeah.
And it literally, like, questions can be about schoolwork, fitting in netball, whatever.
When you were doing like netball, like were you trying to juggle like homework and all the sports?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was at school, I was playing under 17 Scotland, I was playing under 19 Scotland, and I was training for under 23 development squad at the same time as the World Youth were held in Glasgow in 2013. So I was traveling up to Glasgow nearly five days a week, so Monday to Friday, and then every probably second weekend I was traveling up for competitions for district as well. So my timetable was completely full. So my mum and I, when I was younger, we used to sit down and we used to get an A4 bit of paper, and we used to write on from 6:30 a.m. in the morning, 6:30 till 7, 7 till 7:30, 8 till 8:30, till 10 p.m. at night. So I could put in exactly what I was doing. So I knew I'd be at school from 8 till 3:30. So I put my school time in 6:30. Some days I'd get up and train, and I can just kind of like fit in everything. So some days I would go into school early and I'd go to the library and I'd do my homework there. Some days I'd stay in school later and go straight from school, do my homework at school to training. So it's just about being smart. So a lot of the time I would finish school and then I would get on the bus and go straight to the sports hall and do a running session, because I knew if I'd go home I'd sit on my bed and I'd watch Netflix or something and I'd waste half an hour. Guilty. Yeah, we all do it. Yeah. So like, it's just about being smart, and it's things like, so even now, because last year I was in Durham as well studying, and I was traveling up all the time for World Cup and things, it's just about remembering to bring your homework or your studying things on the train, because you can do work on the train. Yes, it's not going to be as beneficial as what it is when you're sitting at a desk doing it. However, it's going to help. Okay. I think it's one of those things, it's how much you want it. So a lot of the time, like, there's a lot of people out there that can't manage the whole loads and loads of sports as well as loads and loads of netball, loads of homework even. But if you plan it right, you will be able to do it. It is stressful sometimes, and definitely like use the support network you've got around you. So like your coaches and things, talk to them, tell them what you've got going on, tell them how much homework you've got, tell your teachers. Some teachers will understand, others won't. If you're at Lomond, Mr. Dunlop, he was literally my person. Like, I went to him with all of my problems and he really, really helped me. So find that person that can really help you.
And also just keep up with sport as well. It's really important whilst you're studying. Like, it's good to have, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, at the minute I'm writing my dissertation for my master's, which is quite stressful, but I haven't stopped my training. And every time I do stop and I do train, I just kind of have all these ideas. And I'm like, how do I not have these ideas when I'm sitting in front of my laptop? So yeah, definitely keep it up. Any other questions?
How long do you stretch for before a match?
How long do I stretch?
Yeah.
So we do dynamic stretches before a game. So we do our squats, lunges, probably, to put a number on it's really difficult. I would say we spend maybe like 5 to 10 minutes on that. So we do our runnings to warm up our body, and then we get into our stretches, but they're always dynamic, so we're always moving, we're never ever standing still. And then we go into some ball work and pairs, and then we go into some team drills, and we have like a fun game as well. That's my favorite bit. I forgot about that. We play like Tig. It's really fun, but yeah. Yeah. How long do you stretch before a game?
Like 15-ish minutes.
15. That's a whole quarter of netball.
We're all starting at different times. Try and get them to line up and all go at the same time, and they never do.
Oh, funny. You'll get it one day, I'm sure. It's not the end of the world. If you're warm, that's what matters, I'm sure. If you're ready for the game. Trying to think what else you could ask me.
What do you like to do outside of netball to switch off from it if you can?
That's a really difficult question. I like to read a lot. I do a lot of reading, but at the moment, because I'm writing my dissertation, I'm finding that all I'm doing is constantly reading. So yeah, usually if we went in lockdown, I absolutely love coffee. I have an obsession with coffee, so I usually go out and I meet friends for a coffee at a really nice place. So if I'm in Helensburgh, I'll go to River Hill, or if I'm down in Durham, there's this really nice place called Riverside, and it's on the river, and the view's just amazing. But they also do really good carrot cake, but we won't be telling our coaches that. Yeah, so I usually go out for coffee. Yeah, coffee's my savior though. I love coffee.
Any other questions?
Who's not asked me a question yet? If you've not asked me a question, try to think of one.
Ishbel, have you got a question at all? No.
Nothing. There's nothing.
How do you deal with your setbacks?
Ooh, that's a big question. So last year I trialled for the World Cup team, and I was selected as the first training partner. So that basically means that if anyone gets injured within the team, I would take their place. And on the run up to World Cup, we had 2 injuries within the team. So I was taken to the training camp down in London to the second last day before the World Cup actually started. So my mind was a bit like, am I going, am I not going? And it was quite difficult for me. And on that day, I played against New Zealand, which is an amazing experience. Like, I'd never, ever want to have that taken away from me. And I really struggled with that, because it's quite hard to go through all of the experience of the run up to the World Cup with the team and then not actually having to experience that. So I think it's really important that if you do have any setback, to take every opportunity that you can. So with that, I was able to decide if I wanted to take the training partner position. So I had to say yes or no. And I did contemplate it, but I was like, no, because if someone does get injured and I say no to this training partner position, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. And if I hadn't taken that, then I wouldn't have been able to play against New Zealand. And I got to play against Laura Langman, which is one of my biggest dreams to have done. And I've done that, and I'm only 23. I was 22 at the time. So it's an amazing experience. But yeah, I just say set goals and make sure that you're seeing improvement in yourself, because I know that now that in the next 2 years when I travel for Commonwealth, I've got that experience on my back. I've played against New Zealand. I've trained with the World Cup team. I know I'm good enough. And it's having that mindset and a growth mindset that you are good enough, and believing that. So knowing that you can be where you want to be. And it's about being positive about everything and seeing everything as kind of you can grow from it. So there's some days, like today, I've been really, really tired all day, and I think it's because of the heat. I didn't want to train today, but I was like, if I don't train, I'm going to regret it, and I'm just going to be catching up on myself. But I've trained. It may have not been my best training session, but I've done it. So that's going to improve me because I'm going to be that 1% fitter, that 1% better at my skills for when we're able to get back on court.
That was really well put.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's as well, like with that, it's really important to use your, as I've said before, like use the support network around you. Like I live with, when I'm in Hansby, I live with my mum, and she's, obviously everyone's mum, their parents, their guardians are just brilliant. She doesn't really understand team sport. She couldn't really understand, like, she understood that I was upset because it meant so much to me, but she could never, she always used to say to me, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to make you happy. And I'm like, Mum, it's not about that, it's about being there for me. So use the people around you. Don't let it just stay in your head. Talk about it, because talking about it is so much better, and it makes more sense as well to you. Because it's not the end of the world, because I know in 2 years' time I can trial again and I'm better than what I was before World Cup, because I've played against New Zealand, because I've trained more, because I've taken those opportunities, because I've gone to the gym, because I've done the cardio sessions.
Have you ever had like a bad relationship with your team members?
Ooh,
Gossip.
I know I wouldn't say like a bad relationship. Wait, in what sense do you mean? As in, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've never disliked someone. I think there's been disputes with people about how you perceive something. So if I've had times where I've been like, well, I don't think that's my ball to go for because I'm over here, my player's on that side and the ball's there, so there's no chance I'm going to get that and keep my player out of play. But I think if you were to have any disputes with your team, it's just about, again, communicating and knowing that, like, you may not get along as friends, however you're on the same team, you're playing for the same team, and you're both got the same aim to win. And just because you may not get along off of the court doesn't mean that you're going to lose because you dislike that person. Does that answer your question? I'm not really sure. Any others? Literally ask me anything. What's my favourite food? What's my cheat meal?
That's a good one. What's your cheat meal?
Oh, what is my cheat meal? I don't really have a cheat meal. Do you guys know that marvellous chocolate bar with the Smarties and the jelly beans in it?
Yes.
Oh, that is literally my favourite thing. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'd say that's my go-to. When I need a bit of chocolate, that would be my go-to. And I love Pringles. Yeah, salt and vinegar though, they have to be salt and vinegar. Yep. My mum, the other day I really wanted some Pringles, and my mum went to the shop and she came back and she got in the door and she went, oh, I forgot the Pringles. I didn't speak to her for half an hour. I was so angry.
Don't promise them if you're not going to bring them. That's just
yeah, she can just leave. But yeah, those are definitely my two go-to things, I would say. I don't really have a cheat meal. I don't really enjoy takeaways and things. In general, like, my family's never been a big takeaway kind of family, so yeah, I've never really like enjoyed them, so I don't usually have them anyway. So, and yeah, I'm one of those weird people that doesn't really like pizza either. Yeah, I know, weird. You're all looking at me like, who are you?
Leave now. That's enough.
Oh.
Any other questions? Blank faces.
There must be more.
Oh, Lucy, have you got one?
What's like something you like have to eat before every match or something?
Oh, like, what do I eat before a match? Usually I eat, I load up on carbs and veggies and a little bit of protein. So I usually go for like brown pasta and loads of green veggies like broccoli and asparagus and spinach. But But yeah, I actually have really funny stories. So in Durham, I live at a school, so I teach netball, and then I live at the school, and I was like, oh, there's couscous, that's so exciting, I love couscous. And so I like piled all this couscous onto my plate, and I was like, this is really watery couscous, why is it so watery? And it was rice pudding.
Oh.
So like literally eating this rice pudding, like, why is this not couscous? Yeah, so usually I eat pasta, and yeah, I love chicken, so it's usually chicken I have. I don't really eat red meat either. So yeah, but don't carb up on couscous, because I found out there's not many calories in couscous, so it's not a good one either.
A little bit on the side salad.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's what I usually eat before a game. But yeah, my diet's kind of, I'm careful what I eat, but I also, you know, I enjoy things as well. But primarily I have to eat like 180 grams of protein a day, which is a lot of protein. If you go and look how much protein's in a chicken, that'll give you an idea of how much protein I have to eat. I'd say I have to eat about a chicken and a half a day. And then I think it's about 130 carbs. So, and it's all dependent on how much training I do, but yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna have to go, Ma, if iPad's about to run out of charge, sorry.
No worries.
Thank you.
Go away. No worries. Bye. Does anyone else have any questions?
What would you do on a rest day?
What would I do on a rest day? So usually I do a bit of more like yoga stretching, so very like chilled stretching. So that's usually about half an hour. I usually just go into YouTube and I type in slow yoga, and I do a bit of stretching like that, and then I'll go for a walk, usually up the hills, so like Ben Bowie kind of way, if anyone knows where that is. But I usually, just because we're in lockdown, I've been doing a little bit more on my rest days, but usually I try and do like keep off my feet as much as I can, just so like I rest my legs as much as possible, so I can get the most out of all of my sessions for the week going forward. My rest days are always on a Sunday, so that it allows me to make sure that I'm ready for the week going forward. Yeah.
What's your favourite fruit?
Favorite fruit? Oh, I love fruit as well. I love mango, but it's really high in sugar, so I would say I love pomegranate and strawberries and blueberries and just fruit in general, actually. And fruit and yogurt is my go-to snack. Yeah, I'd say that's or fruit and cottage cheese, actually. That's a really weird one though. But yeah. Yeah. Is that us then? No more questions? Ishbel, you sure you've not got a dying question in there? Okay, right. Should we leave it at that then, girls? If you do have any questions though, like at the end of next season, don't be scared to ask them. And also, obviously, you guys can all see my face a bit better. So if you see me in Helensburgh or you see me around, don't be scared to come and say hi to me and tell me who you are, okay? So if you see me and you're like, oh, that's Rebecca, she's taking our sessions, come up to me and say hi. I'd love that. That would be really, really cool, okay? Obviously keep your 2 meters, because if any of you had COVID, I don't want it, okay? Perfect. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.